Welcome to the Fempire podcast for women building empires where your health, relationships, and wealth rise together. I am your host, Jessica Joy. Let's sharpen the axe and dive in. I filmed a mini masterclass called the Aligned Body Masterclass, and I wanted to share it with you on the podcast because it's really going to shift how you think about getting the health and body that you want in a way that fits your real life so that it's sustainable, but it's also coming from a place of power and alignment, not forcing and trying to operate from discipline and pushing, and that just leads to burnout. So I'm attaching it to this podcast. Now, heads up, this does have some visuals and graphics. So if you're on Apple Podcasts or Spotify and you don't have the visuals, you can pop over to YouTube and see it, or you can find me on Insta at its.jessicajoy. DM me Aligned. I will send it to you. Either way, you'll still be able to get a lot out of it. So enjoy. I'm so excited to share these concepts with you. If you feel like despite all your efforts, you still don't have the health and body you want or have maintained it, here is why, and here's the framework that actually fixes it. Hello, I am Jessica Joy. I have worked with over 500 women one-on-one, and here is what I found. They are not lacking effort. They are lacking strategy. And that was me for 5 years. I was putting in plenty of effort, and I gradually gained 25 pounds. I yo-yoed for 5 years doing all the quote right things. I was working out. I was lifting weights. I was eating clean. I was counting calories. And yet I was gradually gaining weight. And I had to get honest with myself. And I had a moment where I said, this isn't working. And I went on a mission to solve my own problem. And when I did, I learned how to transform my body in a way that was so aligned, where I was healthy inside and out, got the results I wanted, and have maintained them for 6 years, have coached hundreds of women to do the same thing and help them get over this same pattern too. So this pattern we are changing today. Welcome to the Aligned Body Mini Masterclass. Most approaches have it upside down and there's no foundation underneath, and it's really honestly built to collapse. It's built to keep you going in circles because then they can honestly, sadly, sell you more things. But what most protocols will lead with is an incomplete or an ineffective strategy. They'll give you a couple pieces that give you some short-term results and you think, I'm making progress, but then ultimately you plateau or go in circles. And then they'll pack on some supplements and peptides because that helps your body typically to feel better a bit quicker. So you're thinking it's working well, but ultimately it's not really solving the full problem either. And a lot of these short-term approaches are to prioritizing your metabolism, your hormones, and your gut. And that's a big part of why you plateau or why you gain the weight back. And very few approaches are prioritizing what I call your operating system, which is your mindset and your nervous system and your identity. So this is the problem. Ineffective strategy. So let's talk about the framework that fixes it. This approach prioritizes what is effective and what lasts. Okay. So we need to have a strong foundation and work our way up. Okay. So first, creating an identity, beliefs, mindset, nervous system that aligns with a woman who is fit and healthy. We'll talk about what that means. Then you prioritize your metabolism, hormones, and gut. These are the foundation. When these are working well, your body's going to respond better and you're set up to maintain your results. Then we need effective strategy. What really moves the needle? Focus on that, gaining skills around that. And that way, you get the results and they last, as opposed to just trying to follow some random rules. And then peptides and supplements can be paired with this, but there's no replacement for the foundation underneath it. So these are optional. We'll talk about. All right. So I want to go deeper one-on-one so you know specifically what each of these are and how you can start applying them. All right. So your operating system, this is driving all your behavior. Okay. So if you have an identity of a fit, healthy woman, you will start to take aligned actions as her because it's just who you are. And this is built over time, building those actions, but it does start with that belief. If deep down you don't believe you are that woman, then it's going to be very hard to take aligned actions. Next is beliefs. Beliefs like the health and body that you want is possible, that it's maintainable, that you're worthy of taking the time and energy and money to create it. When we don't have these beliefs, then typically we'll start talking ourselves out of our commitments, or we won't set boundaries that allow us to have the time and space that we need to make our health a priority, because deep down we don't believe we're worthy potentially of taking the time, or deep down we have a belief that, we need to put everybody else's needs first. Okay. Next is
Having nervous system tools to help navigate stressful seasons without your health falling off the plate. One of the biggest patterns I see with our clients is they'll do really well when life's pretty even keel or in routine, but it's when life is stretching them that their health is the first thing to go. Okay, they'll prioritize the work, they'll prioritize the family. But if they're stretched, it's like, oh, too busy for the health. And that pattern will lead to temporary results every time. So we actually need to have tools that allow you to keep your health on your plate. Let's say that help you relax enough to say, okay, my health always stays on the plate. Here's how I can work with my nervous system to continue prioritizing my health, even in this stretched season. So these are a few examples, but the key point is, even if you have the perfect strategy, and it's simple and it's doable, there's the woman that needs to implement that strategy consistently. And if your identity, your beliefs, and your nervous system aren't in alignment with that, it's going to be very hard to be consistent. So this is what's driving all the behavior. Now, when you do shift the operating system, then everything feels so much easier. You're operating from alignment and power, not force and discipline and pushing and being all drained. It's totally different. Makes it so sustainable and energizing. All right, next. We need to prioritize metabolism, hormones, and gut. All right. So when this is skipped, it leads to temporary results every time. Okay. And most of the ladies that we work with come in with a slower metabolism when we need to prioritize their hormones to get their body responding. Now, I want to teach one primary principle around prioritizing your metabolism, and this is taking fat loss in phases. So what most approaches do is they have you do your moderate caloric deficit. Okay, lower your calories, lower your intake, and you start to see some fat loss. But ultimately, you hit this end. It's like, okay, you plateau, and what happens is your metabolic rate has adapted. So your metabolism slowed. During this, your stress hormones are coming up, your hunger hormones are coming up. And if you have done a more restrictive approach, you're probably a bit burned out. And this puts women at a dead end, but they're thinking, look at all this fat I lost. And that's wonderful. But where do you go from there? That's where the incomplete strategy is happening for them. They can't maintain eating that few of calories, but they don't know where else to go. So they gradually gain the weight back. And then they try another version of a short-term fat loss phase, and the same thing happens. And the problem is their body's more stressed and they ended up gaining weight. So here's how we work with your metabolism to get the weight off. So yes, you do need a moderate deficit, but after that deficit, you need what I call a metabolic restoration phase, where you gradually increase the amount of food that you're eating back to a maintenance level, and you maintain that weight loss for a period of time to de-stress your body, get your metabolism up. This is great for your relationship with food. This is great for building muscle. It's great for your hormones. And then you can do another fat loss phase and then pair it with the metabolic restoration phase. So I'll go more into this strategy, but that is huge. So this client, for example, when she came into us, she had already been in a massive caloric deficit and was plateaued. What was she supposed to do? We needed to start with that metabolic restoration phase and prioritize her metabolism. Okay. This client came in perimenopause and the weight wasn't budging. She was doing cardio. She was cutting her calories. We needed to prioritize her hormones. Okay. It's so important. And that's the part that's really going to set you up for your body to respond and then maintain it. All right. So let's talk about effective strategy. Couple key pieces. I want to talk about some elements with nutrition, workouts, deep core primarily. Okay. Because most ladies think, okay, I need to eat clean, eat healthy, get some workouts. And I'm not going to knock that, but it's really not going to take the reins with transforming your body. And you're missing a lot of elements. So these are the skills that I learned and we teach our clients, because once you get good at these skills, you can create the health and body that you want, maintain it, and they're going to support you hormonally, metabolically, with your gut health. Like, get good at these and you are set. All right. So the first one is taking fat loss in phases. Now, it's important in this fat loss phase that we're doing a few things. This is not just eating less and cutting calories. Okay. We want to make sure that you're meeting your nutritional needs. Okay. This can be getting enough carbs, proteins, and fats. This can be getting enough vitamins and minerals from your food. This is getting enough fiber from your food. So this takes some time. Honestly, we focus mostly on people just hitting like their protein goals and calorie goals in the beginning, and then gradually over time improving the quality of their nutrition getting to an 80% whole foods in their diet consistently. 20%, you have some flexibility. Please don't restrict foods. It's so much about just getting the right portions right, but you do need to be in a moderate deficit to lose fat. Period. Then you take a break. And over that time, you are learning about your nutritional needs. You're creating a good relationship with food. Taking a season to learn your macros to lose fat and build muscle will pay off for the rest of your life. You do not have to food track forever, but really using that as a tool to see the changes you want to make while prioritizing your metabolism and hormones, and then understanding actually your nutritional needs. There's no replacement for that. It's one of the best investments you could possibly make in your health for your entire life. And that's just how you get the job done right once and for all. And you're really empowered around your nutrition. Next, workouts. Girl, I used to work out twice a day sometimes. I'm like, okay, I'm going to do my strength training in the morning, and then I'll go do a class at night. And I never got the tone I wanted, because you are better off focusing on building muscle. So strength training with progressive overload. And when you take workout classes, I'm not going to knock them. It's better than nothing, but there isn't a level of structure for an individual to gradually build muscle. Okay. And when you do, you can work out 3 days a week and massively transform your body and maintain it. Okay. I also prioritize getting your deep core strong for many reasons, because many women, some have diastasis recti, which I did, ab gap, but many women have a weak deep core and a weak pelvic floor. So as we strengthen that, you have your best core health. It does tighten your waistline. It's going to protect your low back. We optimize the posture as well, which is just the smart way to go. We're not going to miss that part. Then we do want to prioritize sleep and stress management, so that your body can actually release fat. So you don't have to do these all at once. Some ladies, for example, need to prioritize nutrition and sleep from the get-go and add in workouts later. Okay. It's a few pieces. Like I said, it's skills that you want to learn, and then you get better and better at integrating into your life, create systems that you just operate on repeat, and you're good to go. All right. Now let's talk about peptides and supplements. So there is no replacement for the foundation, understanding your nutrition, getting good at it, creating a good relationship with food, creating the identity, all these things. But when that foundation is good and you want to potentially pair peptides and supplements, I call it an accelerator layer. Okay. It can help speed up fat loss. It can speed up healing, especially gut healing. It can support muscle building. But some people are aligned with peptides, some aren't. And that is a personal choice you get to make. We are certified peptide integration specialists if that's something people want to incorporate. Not all people do, and that's okay. There are baseline supplements I would definitely recommend, like magnesium is a priority. There's a few other ones. I won't go into the details. But when it comes to peptides, it's so important that you cycle these. You have seasons where you're on and seasons where you're off to protect your receptors and to do the deeper work to create a good relationship with food. You can get great results with or without them. Peptides will help accelerate if you choose to use them. And there's some foundational supplements I think are just good for general health, especially as we get into our 40s, 50s, and beyond. All right. So get good at this. And this is how you lose weight once and for all. You get strong, you get healthy, you live it, you be it, you experience it, where you create the tone that you want. Your hormones are supporting you and your metabolism's strong. It's not working against you. You get the fat off and you keep it off. You don't regain it in 3 months or 6 months, and you have a system in place. So this is just handled. So if this is resonating and you want support implementing this in your life and in your body, then you can reply or DM me, let's go. And I'll know you watched the whole thing and we can talk about what this will look like for you.